We are finding that we have problems with the U.S. Marshals.
Uh-huh.
The U.S. Marshal Service doesn't know what its job is and doesn't know who it's responsible to. And this is something we're going to have to address. The U.S. Marshal Service is responsible for enforcing the constitutions, and they're responsible for enforcing the Constitution from both sides.
Right.
While they are in this country as a condition of them being able to operate in this country, they are obligated to accept the public duty of enforcing the constitutions equally.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that they not only have to enforce the constitutions from the side of the subcontractors, they have to enforce the constitutions from the side of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an aspect of their duty that they need to be fully informed about.
Right.
Because otherwise they have no business here. It's a condition of their employment on our soil.
And they could be deported?
They could be fired and they could be deported because after all, at the end of the day, they're on our payroll.
Right.
Because they're being, just because their hierarchy is being filtered through a system of delegated authority, that authority is still ultimately ours.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
and the money for it is ultimately ours too.
Very important point. So if we look at a scenario where we fire them and deport them, then what fills the void? Is there something that we would be able to authorize?
We have our Continental Marshals. They can be trained to deal with the international jurisdiction of the sea as well as the international land jurisdiction. It's all international jurisdiction and it's all crime and it's all happening within our venue, within our realm of authority. So we don't really need the U.S. Marshals.
Fantastic.
We can just stand here foursquare on our borders and deal with the crimes that come our way using the Continental Marshal Service.
Well, that would simplify a lot of issues that we have currently, because we're finding that the U.S. Marshals are often part of the corruption.
Well, and they would be, because you see, they're the ones that are supposed to be guarding our ports and our borders and policing things like interstate bank crime, human trafficking, drug running, gun running, drug trafficking. And you can see from the facts all around you that they're not doing a very good job, are they?
No.
So what does that tell you? It tells you that people in the U.S. Marshal Service are on the take.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we've seen direct evidence of that, and so if we give them the boot and, put our Continental Marshals in charge, that simplifies things greatly.
Well, and I think it does simplify things greatly. And I think it also, I don't think it harms anything.
No, I
don't think that we need specialty officers dealing with sea jurisdiction matters when that sea jurisdiction is in our ports. And let's face it, our ports are supposed to be under our jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. So the entire border-aligned area, the coastal limits, is supposed to be policed by our Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And our Coast Guard is not supposed to be under their Navy.
No, they've been co-opted and corrupted.
Well, yes. And so, what this comes down to is a slice and dice of authorities. And it's long overdue. Something that will help us a great deal, I think, is the recovery of the federal republic, the American part of the federal government. Mm-hmm. Because the American part of the federal government is, guess what? Under the control of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have a situation where we have an American group that is directly accountable to us, that is supposed to be riding herd on the Brits and on the Pope's municipal government to make sure that they're doing what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
And that will make our lives very much simpler.
Yeah.
So will basically reining in and rolling back the municipal corporations because they have no right to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no mistake that they're being liquidated. They were allowed to be here by mistake when, as you saw in 1937, this collusive relationship was formed between the territorial government and the municipal government in violation of our constitutional guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the assemblies are back, like Arnie Schwarzenegger, I'm back. Now that our state assemblies are back, they have a whole new situation. They can no longer pretend to be the governments of the United States or in the United States. They are just subcontractors. So they're being put back in their places by the state assemblies being up and functioning and formed and rolling.
Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing.